Bill Maher slams the left. The heated debate over RFK Jr.'s wife. Bill Maher, never one to shy away from controversy, has once again taken aim at the left during a fiery episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. This time, his ire is directed at those attacking Cheryl Hines, actress and wife of presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr. In his trademark style, Maher didn't hold back, calling out the hypocrisy and intensity of the criticism aimed at Hines. The controversy: why Cheryl Hines? The backlash against Cheryl Hines stems from her public support of RFK Jr.'s presidential bid. While RFK Jr. has faced his own share of controversy due to his outspoken views on vaccines and other issues, critics have now turned their attention to his wife, accusing her of enabling or endorsing his divisive stances. Social media platforms have been rife with heated discussions, with some accusing Hines of abandoning her Hollywood roots to align with her husband's unconventional political views. Others, however, argue that the attacks on Hines are unwarranted and amount to an unfair targeting of a spouse for their partner's political agenda. During the episode, Maher launched into a passionate monologue, slamming the left for their treatment of Hines. When did we start holding people accountable for their spouse's opinions? Maher questioned. Cheryl Hines is a talented actress, a kind person, and someone who clearly loves her husband. That's her crime, loving the guy she married. Maher also criticized the tendency of some on the left to alienate anyone who doesn't align perfectly with their views. This is why people are turning away from the left, Maher continued. It's no longer about tolerance or diversity of thought. It's about purity tests, and if you fail, you're canceled. As always, Maher's comments sparked intense debate. His audience, a mix of liberal, moderate, and conservative viewers, responded with both applause and skepticism. While many agreed with his defense of Hines, others accused Maher of downplaying RFK Jr.'s controversial statements by shifting the focus to his wife. On social media, the debate was just as polarized. Some hailed Maher as a voice of reason, while others criticized him for seemingly defending RFK Jr.'s politics under the guise of standing up for Hines. Meanwhile, Cheryl Hines has remained relatively quiet about the uproar, only issuing a brief statement emphasizing her love and support for her husband. "We don't always agree on everything," she shared, "but that's what makes us human. My husband has always encouraged me to think for myself, and I respect his right to do the same." Maher's defense of Hines highlights a broader issue. Should political spouses be held accountable for their partner's views and actions? While some argue that a public figure's spouse inevitably becomes part of the political discourse, others believe targeting them unfairly crosses a line. As Maher concluded his segment, he posed a thought-provoking question. If we start blaming people for what their partners believe, where does it end? Marriage isn't a political endorsement. It's a relationship. Love him or hate him. Bill Maher has once again forced his audience to confront uncomfortable questions about cancel culture, political discourse, and the boundaries of accountability. And as the RFK Jr. campaign continues to make headlines, it's clear this won't be the last time Cheryl Hines finds herself in the political crossfire. This isn't the first time Bill Maher has clashed with cancel culture, and it likely won't be the last. Over the years, Maher's become one of the loudest voices critiquing what he sees as the left's overreach in silencing dissenting opinions. In this instance, his defense of Cheryl Hines fits neatly into his ongoing campaign to highlight the perceived dangers of ideological extremism. Maher pointed out how the personal attacks on Hines reflect a broader cultural issue where public figures, and even those associated with them, are vilified for not conforming to popular narratives. Maher argued that the growing trend of attacking spouses, friends, and family members of controversial figures is setting a dangerous precedent. Where does it stop? He asked his audience. Today, it's Cheryl Hines. Tomorrow, it could be someone in your life, your friend, your sibling, your partner. We need to get back to debating ideas, not destroying lives. His passionate plea for more nuance and less judgment struck a chord with some, though it also ruffled feathers among his critics. RFK Jr.'s presidential campaign has already been a lightning rod for controversy. From his contentious views on vaccines to his unconventional approach to political discourse, the candidate has garnered both fervent support and intense criticism. Cheryl Hines, as his wife, has found herself increasingly dragged into the narrative. Critics argue that her silence on some of RFK Jr.'s most polarizing positions is tantamount to complicity, while her defenders see her as an unfairly targeted bystander. The couple's relationship is now under an unrelenting microscope, with political pundits analyzing every public interaction between the two. The scrutiny reached a fever pitch when Hines appeared at a campaign event last week, smiling and applauding RFK Jr.'s speech. While some saw this as a wife simply supporting her husband, others accused her of endorsing his controversial views by association. The situation has escalated to a point where Maher's defense feels like a necessary intervention in a debate that has become increasingly personal and toxic. Unsurprisingly, Maher's remarks have elicited strong reactions from Hollywood, where many of Cheryl Hines' peers have spoken out. While some have expressed solidarity with Hines, others have remained cautious, perhaps wary of being dragged into the controversy themselves. Notably, several high-profile actors and comedians, including Sarah Silverman and Tim Allen, have voiced their agreement with Maher's position, emphasizing the importance of respecting personal boundaries in political discourse. On the flip side, others in the industry have criticized both Maher and Hines, arguing that public figures should expect this level of scrutiny. When you marry someone with such extreme views, you have to know what you're signing up for, one anonymous Hollywood insider commented. This divide within the entertainment world reflects the broader cultural and political rift that Maher sought to address. As RFK Jr.'s campaign gains momentum and Cheryl Hines continues to be an active presence by his side, this story is unlikely to fade anytime soon. Whether she speaks out more forcefully in her own defense or continues to weather the storm in silence, her every move will be dissected by supporters and critics alike. Meanwhile, Bill Maher's defense has set the stage for more heated debates on his show and beyond. For now, the focus remains on the fundamental question at the heart of this controversy. Should someone's personal relationships overshadow their own achievements and character? Maher's fiery monologue has reignited this discussion, making it clear that, for better or worse, Cheryl Hines and her husband are at the center of a cultural flashpoint. Whether they can rise above it remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This is a political drama that the public simply can't look away from.